right, year 10. So we are at the end of topic probability. And I asked you to review and make yourself some flashcards. And this week we will be testing. So I thought I'll give you another day to review and practice the kind of questions that you'd be experiencing on your topic test. But then I have this, I just found this die in our house. It's a 6-sided die, as you can see. Now, the side that you see is what we'll consider as the answer. Now, if you get 4, okay, the side that you are seeing, that's what we'll take into account. Then there won't be any topic test. We will just move on after the review. All right. But if you get anything else other than 4, that means in the next lesson, you are actually taking a test during your assigned timetable time. All right, here we go. Hope it's not 4. Hope it's not 4. What do you get? 3. So which means it's not 4. The probability of taking the test is in my favor. All right. So as we move on, we will be reviewing. I compiled this so you can have some better practice. Okay. Now, these are the kind of questions that you will be coming across. Now, here's a question. A card is drawn from a pack of 52. The probability that the card is a red card from the deck. So you know that there are this red and black, and red are 50% and the other 50% is black. So that is 26 divided by 52. So that would give you the answer as D. Now the probability 4/7 written as odds is, this is an explanation here. So there's a formula, which is probability P divided by 1 minus P. So the probability of favor divided by the odds. Odds is 1 minus that. Like the person who would make versus persons who would not make. So later on we will also see that how this 1 is used. The event of happening, if it's this favor, 1 minus that would give you the odds of it. So here the probability of the event happening is 4/7. So 4 is my P. And in the bottom you would have done 1 minus 4, 1 minus 4/7. That would give you 3/7, right? The probability P is 4/7 divided by 1 minus 4/7. If you put that in the calculator, you should get 3/4. So type that in. Now P is 4/7, and in the denominator you should put 1 minus 4/7, that 4/7 in the brackets, and you would get the answer. Now the next one. The Weather Bureau forecast the chance of sunshine for the next day is 85%. So the favor is 85%. Now, the probability that the sun will not shine the next day is 100% minus 85%, which is nothing but 15%. So out of all these answer choices, which one would give you 0.15? 15% is nothing but 0.15. And that is 3/20. Now this one, a bag contains 90 balls of which 55 are yellow, 12 are green, and the remaining are white. Okay. I'll move this a bit down. Okay, the rest are, so probability of green or white. So 90 minus 55 minus 12 is 23. So this is what is we have for white. So the combination of green plus white, or is always treated with an addition. So green plus white is 23 plus 12, which is 35. So you would write your probability as 35 over the total, which is 90. So the answer choice is E. A coin is tossed and a die is rolled. The probability of a number less than 3 on the die and a tail on the coin is. So less than 3 is, what are the numbers? 1 and 2 on your die, right? 1 and 2. So 2 out of 6. So there are 6 sides on a die. So you have 2 out of 6. And for the coin, you have head and tail. So the chance of getting a head is 1/2. So you times it, because here they are saying it's and. And means we multiply, or means we add. So 1 over 3 times 1 over 2 is 1 over 6. So the answer choice is C. Now, 3 coins are tossed. The probability of 2 heads or 2 tails is, so guys, whenever you have 3 coins tossed, so you have 8 different outcomes. You can have all heads, 2 coins can have heads, and 1 coin will end up having tail, head, tail, head. So these are the different combinations that I have written for you to process. So the question is 2 heads or 2 tails. So that would be 2 heads, 2 heads, 2 heads, 2 tails, 2 tails, and 2 tails. So 6 out of 8. That would end up being 3 over 4. The Tiny Tots Soccer Club records the following results in 20 matches over a season. So the wins are for 12 days, the draw is 3 days, the loss is 5 days. Now I want you to understand that relative frequency is nothing but the frequency of that component divided by the sum of the cumulative frequency. So this is sigma is nothing but you add all of them. So in this case it is 12 plus 3 plus 5, which is nothing but 20. So the first question is the winning, right? So that is 12 divided by 20, because winning is 12 days. So 12 over 20, which is 3 over 5. So the relative frequency of the Tiny Tots winning is 3 over 5. Now the relative frequency F divided by the cumulative frequency sigma F for not losing. A draw can be considered as not losing. Okay, so 12 plus 3 is 15. 15 over 20 is nothing but 3 over 4. So that's how you do this problem. Given the Venn diagram below, N of E, this is the entire sample, okay, is 16. So P of A is what? So you have Venn diagram. So this is probability of A is this first circle, probability of B is the second circle. The probability of both, which is the A intersection B, is 2. All right, so now they want A. A is nothing but you should also treat this intersection area, because B also should be treated as 2 plus 7. A should be treated as 7 plus 2. So this whole thing right here is your A. So 9 over the total, which is 16, is 0.5625. So your answer choice is D. Let me move my camera a bit. Bring it over here. So in a 2-card hand, what is the probability of holding 2 cards of the same suite? So you know that you have clubs, spades, hearts, and diamonds. So that's the same suite, right? There are 4 suites. And so now this is where the replacement thing is not happening. You're not replacing the card. So once you draw a card, which is from 13 cards out of 52, that's your first card right there. Now without replacement, so now the deck is reduced by 1, so now you have 51. And the same suite, you have now another card reduced, so that is 12. So 12 over 51. So when you multiply these two, you get 1 out of 17, right? But there are 4 suites in the card deck, so you should simply say 4 times 1 over 17, which is nothing but 4 over 17. So your answer choice is C. This is a formula for probability of A union B is nothing but probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. So just by substituting in the formulas of the given things and just type that in your calculator, you should get probability of A union B is nothing but 7 over 12. All right, I'll move this again here. Now, in a school of 340 students, 40% study Japanese, 75% study French, and 20% study both. So the both is right here. Okay, but draw a Venn diagram. So you have Japanese, so the entire sample space is studying these 2 things. So So this is like the total number. This rectangle represents the entire 340 students. Okay. Now 40% study Japanese. Now remember, I said Japanese is these two numbers put together should come out to be as 40%. So what is 40% of 340? So that would be 136 students. Okay. Now what is 75%? I should have done this. 75% of 340. So that would be how much? 255 students. So when you combine these two, it should come out as 255. Now what is 20%? So 0.20 times 340, that would be 68. So 68 should be written first in the middle. So you would start your problem from this intersection space. So then you know that Japanese is 136. So do 136 minus 68. That would give you 68. Got it? And then we got the French, the 75% as 255. So 255 minus 68 will give you 187. So the way Venn diagrams work is you always start from the intersection area and you know the total of each sample, right? I mean, each component inside this entire sample space, subtract it, and you will get these individual circle values. And now, a subject other than French or Japanese. So what you can do is, once you have these three numbers, add them together and subtract it from 340. So 17 students are not taking any of these subjects, Japanese or French. So that number should be written outside your circles, but right here within this rectangle. So that's how you finish off your Venn diagram. All right, here's a more detailed explanation of what I just said. So you can try to understand that, right? So now probability of studying at least one language is you add your 68 plus 68 plus 187, which is like 95% of the students. So which means 5% are not doing anything. So you could have done 17 divided by 340, that is still 5%. All right, guys, so look at your explanation for this problem. Now look at this one. When a warship fires a missile, it has a probability of 0.8 of hitting its target. By the way, this is a real warship that I looked up from World War II. So you can, it's docked near Corpus Christi, where we were from. And it has all these fighter planes on the top deck. So if you can see in the picture, so it's just like a visual for you. Anyways, the warship and the fighter plane simultaneously fire a missile at the same time. So draw a probability tree to show all possible outcomes. So you would start with when a warship fires a missile, its probability of 0.2 of hitting. So what is the probability of not hitting? 1 minus 0.8. That would be 0.2. So that would be your first column, right? In the second column, you will have like this, a fighter plane hit and a miss. So when you come out here in this probabilities, the last column that you would be writing, you would write, if I ask you what is hit, miss, miss, hit, miss, miss. So you have these four options happening. So when you multiply these numbers along this tree, that would give you the result. So the first one is miss and a hit. So miss and a hit is right here. Miss and a hit. Miss and a hit. So miss and a hit is 0.2 times 0.7. Target escapes. Escape is treated as miss and a miss. So 0.2 times 0.3. it's probability of miss and hit, not hit and miss. So miss hit is right here, guys. I'm sorry about that. Miss hit. So there you go. 0.2 times 0.7, 0.14. I hope this gives a better understanding of that explanation. Try to go over it again and refer to your textbook examples for better understanding. But this is a very important concept. Now moving on to these kind of questions you do encounter on your HSC questions as well for advanced maths. So Jack is late for work. So what I thought is I use boss baby pictures here. So this is the boss, this is the assistant right here. It's the other way around. The older brother is the assistant. Jack is late for work once every 10 days. So the probability of him not being late would be 1 minus 1 over 10, or 9 out of 10 days he is not late. Now Bob, his assistant, is late for work once every 5 days. So 1 out of 5 is his late. That means not being late should be the other 4 days. So 4 over 5. Now, what is the probability that both are on time? So this one would be on time, on time. On time is for both of them 9 over 10 times 4 over 5, because 9 out of 10 days he's on which one is that? Jack is late for work, his Bob assistant. Yeah, so this would be for the boss, this would be for the assistant. So 36 over 50, which would be 18 over 25. Now, Jack being on time and Bob being late. Okay, so here, and means, see that, immediately I'm putting a multiplication here. Being on time means 9 out of 10 days he is on time. And Bob being late means 1 out of 5 days he is late. So you pick those two fractions and you multiply them, plus on time, which is 4 out of 5, and Jack being late. He's late 1 out of 10 days. So this. When you type all this in the calculator, you should have got 13 over 50. Typo error, I corrected it. So with this, these are the kind of questions that you would be expecting on the topic test. All right. So for those who are still trying to catch up, I'll give this day for you to prepare, and hope it would be beneficial for you. All right, guys, start your practice.